what's up? It's Monarch. Just popping in here real quick to say that horseflies are the biggest, disgusting menace on God's green earth. Ow! I am not exaggerating. I've probably killed, actually 100 horseflies in the past 8 days. And those are just the ones that are, so big that they couldn't fly away. They couldn't pull their pinchers out of my arm fast enough to, get away before I smacked them. I Googled horseflies last time I had LTE because I was honestly I have to know why. I have to know why these creatures, exist. It turns out that horseflies need this, pool of blood to lay eggs. Ow! God. So not only are they digging their teeth into me and tearing chunks of my flesh out, but they're sucking my blood to lay larvae. Larvae! I am covered in fly guts and my own blood all mashed together on my legs and my arms, just FYI, in case you wanted a visual of how my beautiful, peaceful CDT hike is going right now. Oh my God, seriously, horseflies. Ow! Hey guys, it's Monarch. Welcome to the trail. I just left Mariah's Pass off of Highway 2 in the Lewis and Clark National Forest in Montana, just south of Glacier. And I am walking into a stretch of wilderness right now. It's called the Bob Marshall Wilderness, or the Bob is what it's called for short. Apparently the Bob is kind of famous around here, sort of in a bad way. When I stayed in East Glacier before I went to see Jules for the 4th, and I slept in this $6 bunk hostel situation, and I had these 2 roommates. They're both from Montana, and they were telling me all about it. So Allie, one of those girls, she told me that she grew up hearing horror stories about the Bob from her grandpa, who she made out to be this quintessential bearded, grizzled Montana mountain man. And he was scared of the Bob. I guess everyone's intimidated by the stretch of wilderness because there's nothing out here. From the moment I left Mariah's, I've been walking toward a totally untamed wilderness, one of the last and largest untouched forest preserves in the continental U.S. It's 180 trail miles from Mariah's Pass to Highway 50, which is my next resupply in Lincoln. So I guess officially now I'm only 179 miles away from civilization. Since this is my journal, I'm allowed to be I'm a little scared, right? Hold on. I guess I should also mention that this is the definition of grizzly territory. There's 0 chance I'm going to have any phone service, and there's not a lot of day hikers out here. Even really experienced backcountry hunters don't come out here if they can help it. Man, I've got some questions for the CDTA about the trajectory of the trail south of Glacier for another day. Oh, it'd be really nice to meet some other hikers right about now. I am going to change the subject just for my own brain. I I finally finished that book, the one that I picked up in Bab, Undaunted Courage, Stephen Ambrose. It's about the Lewis and Clark expedition and its path through the Bitterroots, traveling westward through the Rockies toward the Pacific. I learned so many things about that expedition that I did not know before. At the risk of sounding uneducated, I had absolutely no idea that Meriwether, great name, Lewis, killed himself after the expedition. Like, he was struggling to reassimilate to civilized life so badly that, like, he put a pistol in his mouth. But he missed when he took the shot, and it took him hours to bleed out. Apparently, the innkeeper at the place he was holed up in found him trying to slit his wrists and his throat with a razor. Wait, hold on, I wrote it down. Okay, this is a letter from the innkeeper's wife. They found Captain Lewis busily engaged with cutting himself from head to foot with his razor. That description just kills me, like, busily engaged. Like, he was trying so hard and he couldn't do it. He struggled his whole life with what modern historians think might have been manic depressive disorder, though those things weren't well understood at the time, or I guess less understood than now. This guy Ambrose, he hypothesized that when Lewis was outside and he was leading this expedition across the wilderness with a dozen men living and dying by his command, he was, like, more in control of it. It gave him purpose, maybe, to have a goal, to be going somewhere, achieving something. But when he finished, he just, like, couldn't rest. He couldn't adjust to life as a political pawn after this, like, big revolutionary journey. He ran his money into the ground. He tried to be governor and failed. He was destitute, an alcoholic. We never hear this part of the, like, Lewis and Clark story. I mean, like, I know I didn't always pay the most attention in school, but it doesn't surprise me that whoever taught me about Lewis and Clark whitewashed the heroic narrative to be more, like, palatable. A nuanced hero coping with mental health problems? No. Kind of taken for granted these days, too, that he was, of course, wildly racist. Of course he was. They all were. The second guy, Captain Clark, his right-hand man on this whole expedition was someone that was enslaved, this guy York. And so, obviously, this whole expedition, he's with them. And because it's such a small, like, pack, and they all have to rely on each other to, like, actually literally save each other's lives, during the expedition, both York and Sacagawea, a woman, indigenous woman, both of them were treated like full members of this expedition. Like, they got to vote on things. It's actually the first time in U.S. like colonial history that a person of color and a woman of color had voted. Of course, it was also the last time for hundreds more years after this, but whatever. Anyway, so they got back to Missouri after this journey, and York, he didn't even ask to be freed. He just asked for Clark to let him go be with his wife and children, and Clark was like, nope. God, it's all kinds of fucked up. Oh, here's another fun thing I learned. There is, like, a supernatural mystery attached to the story of Lewis and Clark. I wrote this one down, too. Okay, this is from Lewis's journal. Since our arrival at the falls, he's referring to Sioux Falls in South Dakota, I think, we have repeatedly witnessed a noise which proceeds from a direction a little to the north of the west, as loud and resembling precisely the discharge of an ordnance of 6 pounds at the distance of 3 miles. Very specific. I was informed of it by the men several times before I paid any attention to it, thinking it was thunder most probably, which they had mistaken. But at length walking in the plains the other day, I heard this noise very distinctly. It was perfectly calm and clear, and not a cloud to be seen. It goes on, but basically the Minotauri tribe had told Lewis about these mysterious thundering noises, but he'd ignored them, thinking that they must be something that had some scientific explanation. But the sounds came at odd intervals, not like, the extrusions from caverns and geysers, like what they encountered near modern-day Yellowstone. And it couldn't be weather. These loud booms happened under clear blue skies. The mystery of the artillery of the Rockies persists to this day. And what's weird is, I don't know, I feel like I've heard things like that before out here. Like mountains making these loud, inexplicable booming noises, like they're stretching and groaning under their own weight. Hold on a second. What's up? It's day 2 in the Bob. My name's Monarch, and I am fuming. Okay, let me set the scene. So last night finished up pretty uneventful. I got off the recorder and I banged out a few more miles. I wasn't listening to music because grizzly territory, and I'm totally alone. So of course the darker it got, the more sounds I heard or imagined in the woods. I set up camp after 23-ish miles next to this little stream. I got water, I washed my feet off, I hung my food in a tree branch that was over 100 yards away from my tent because I'm still extremely paranoid. But I slept fine, and I woke up this morning feeling really good. Got an early start. For me, an early start. I was packed up out of camp by 7:30. And around 9, I saw a person. A real life person. He was solid, not a hallucination. He was also a fucking creep. I saw him from a distance, and he saw me at the exact same time. He was coming up the trail toward me, wearing a bright orange hunting vest, and he had a rifle in his hands. I'm okay, I'll be honest here. I didn't grow up around guns. I don't like them. I had this boyfriend in college who was really into guns and also, weirdly, really into getting in fights and sometimes pushing me around. I wouldn't call it 100% causation or anything, obviously, but I've always been weird about guns and people who like them too much, But, this guy's on a hunting trip and he's allowed to have hobbies, I guess. And, I hadn't had a conversation with another human in over 48 hours, so I just swallowed anything weird I was feeling and approached him smiling. I was hey, when I was still a few yards away, and he stopped and let me cross the distance between us to him. Just kind of this initial power move that I hated because I could see his eyes flicking up and down my mud splattered legs as I got closer. He asked me what I was doing, and I was I'm on the CDT. And he was yeah, I've heard of it. Not a lot of people do it. And I was yeah, I know. He didn't know it came through the Bob. I was telling him about that. Then, obviously he asked me the question that everyone asks me, but the way he asked it, I swear, it sounded like he was making a plan. He asked if I was alone. These alarm bells are just dinging in my head immediately, and so I lied. I was nope, there's 3 guys I'm hiking with just a mile or so behind me. And he looked me up and down, and I kid you not, he licked his crusty, flaky-ass lips and, stroked his rifle and then said, well, there's only one of you. That must cause some problems with 3 guys. And I honestly can't even remember what I said or, how I left, but I think after seeing that, slimy tongue lolling over his lips, I basically sprinted away from him. Just mortified. And I'm scared. I've been booking it ever since then. I didn't stop for lunch or anything because this guy must have realized pretty quickly that there aren't actually 3 men right behind me. And what if he decides to come find me? It just makes me so mad. I'm out here alone, yes, by choice, but Would have been nice to just have like a friendly conversation today. I'm scared. There are bears out here and it's remote, it's isolated, and there are all these goddamn blowdowns. Do you know what a blowdown is? It's when a fully grown tree is like sprawled out sideways on the trail and you have to either like climb over it or like shimmy under it. They're the worst. Because like, I don't know, if you think about it, like a tree trunk, the trunk of a tree, it's not like a smooth thing. The bark is rough. There's all these little branches and sticks jutting up in every direction. Hundreds of little opportunities to get your shorts caught on them or scrape your arms or your shins or your palms. So I'm just like drenched in my own blood right now, and it's gross and it's exhausting and it slows you down a ton and it sucks your energy. Hiking is supposed to just be walking. But right now, I'm like jumping and I'm bushwhacking and I'm bleeding and I'm sweating. And there's a 40-something creep with a rifle who knows that I'm alone out here, as if I don't have enough to worry about. And I'm just tired. Okay, bye. Hi. Sorry about that little moment. Feeling a little better now. So I decided to hike 29 miles today, which is a ton for this early in the trail. That guy just creeped me out so much that I wanted to get as far from where I saw him this morning as humanly possible. I'm finally almost to where I want to camp. I'm just doing this last half mile to Blue Lake. I've been staring at it on my topo map since this morning. It sounds so idyllic, so peaceful. Like nothing bad could ever happen at Blue Lake, right? Oh, there it is. Wow. It's gorgeous. I wish I could explain it exactly, but like, it's this big lake, probably maybe more than a mile across to the other bank. It's encircled in this perfect basin of dark blue mountains. The water is choppy because it's windy, and the sunset is reflecting a dull pink and orange in the water. It's a bit downhill from the trail right now, maybe like 200 feet below me. This part I'm at right now is really steep, but it looks like the trail is going to switch back down and traverse the shoreline, which is perfect for me to find a flat place to camp. I mean, I think it looks pretty flat down there. Do you know that lake water is actually pretty gross? I mean, it'll be fine given how beautiful and like, I don't know, tranquil this place is. I'm sure the water's fairly clean, but of all the natural water sources, lake water definitely has a distinct flavor and it's not amazing. It's kind of like fishy. I don't know how to describe it. Algae. The worst water is definitely rainwater, though, believe it or not. I know it smells good, but trust me, it's, oh my God. Oh my God. There's something in the water. It's swimming. It's way out in the middle of the lake. Oh my God, is it a beaver? It had that loud noise like a tail, but it's, oh no, oh fuck, oh no, it's a grizzly. I can see its head. I can see its hump. Oh my God, it's a grizzly. Okay, I'm back. I'm still hiking. It's about 10 o'clock, almost completely dark now. I pulled out my headlamp a few minutes ago and I have it on my head ready to go. I can't believe I saw a grizzly bear swimming in a lake. What is happening right now? The bob. So I watched it swim for about 3 minutes before I completely freaked out and started booking it away from the lake, and I've been just booking it ever since. I haven't stopped to eat or anything. I don't want to get any food out of my pack, just in case it smells strong or something. I've done about 3 miles so far since the lake, and I kid you not, about a half mile away from the lake, I almost tripped over a freaking elk leg with the skin and fur still attached, lying in the middle of the trail. I don't know if it was a grizzly. Like, that kind of doesn't make sense, right? Like, grizzlies don't leave meat on bones, and they don't dismember animals like that, do they? Seems like maybe more of a mountain lion thing? Or a hunter thing? Oh my god. A hunter. I forgot about him. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to convince myself that the guy didn't somehow backtrack past me on the trail without me noticing and kill and dismember an elk in order to leave its bloody leg on the trail to scare me. That sounds crazy. It sounds crazy when I say it like that, so it's crazy. It's crazy, right? Who hikes the CDT alone? Who does this? Okay. Well, I made camp. Maybe went like a couple miles past the lake. I didn't want to go too far because it's totally dark. But I found a spot that's sort of like tucked back into the woods. It's like a really bright moon tonight. So I can see if I just like peek out a little bit. I can see my food bag. I hung it like, I don't know, it's probably like 80 feet from me, but it's on the other side of this really big clearing I'm sleeping in. I did an actual proper bear hang this time, you know, like 10 feet up, 10 feet over. No, sorry, 20 feet up, 10 feet over. It's so eerie, just that sack hanging from a rope, just swaying in the wind. I didn't eat dinner. I was too scared to take anything out of my pack that might make a smell. My tummy's kind of grumbling, but yeah, it's not worth it. It's so not worth it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. Well, this adventure is already turning out to be something, isn't it? Yeah, been alone like 3 whole days now, I guess. This is my 3rd night camping alone now. Well, I wanted solitude. I wanted to see how it would go. It's going. It's really quiet. It's like 4 in the morning. I keep trying to sleep, but I can't. At this point, I'm just waiting for dawn. I've been reading all night. I'm reading one of the Bridgerton novels. Trying to like put my head somewhere else, somewhere that isn't scary. I have my rainfly just a little open so I can see out into that clearing. It's not helping me sleep though. I should probably close it because every time that food bag up there in the tree moves in the wind, it feels like something's happening. My eye is just drawn to the movement. It's just the food bag and it's just the wind. It's just the wind. 14 miles for the day. The sun is setting. And I'm about to give up and make camp. Taking about 100 breaks today. I just keep stopping and sitting on logs and staring at my scratched up legs and all the blood all over me and just cursing my existence and every life choice that led me to this place. Climbing this huge 1,000-foot climb right now. I wish I could say it's pretty, but like the last few miles have all been burn area. I should ask someone how recent this forest fire was. It seems like it must have been in the past couple of years. There's like no undergrowth. I guess no one to ask though. My lips are super sunburned and I'm kind of starting to feel bad about being so grossed out by that hunter licking his lips since I've been doing that all day today. There's been no shade today. I can't believe I'm only going to hike 15 miles today. That's so pathetic. Hey, with a 33 yesterday, it's like I did a 25 and a 27. No, that's wrong. I can't do math while I'm climbing. Leave me alone. I'm just going to finish climbing this hill. There's supposed to be a water source near the top of the ridge. Maybe I'll be able to finish off this shit day with a nice view, a cold foot bath, and a good night's sleep. There's like nothing out here for bears to eat. I haven't seen any scat in miles, so maybe the inhospitable nature of a burn area keeps grizzlies away. Perfect for me. Okay, I can't talk. Can also climb this. Okay, bye. Wow. This is really nice. I'm set up now. The stream is basically nothing but a tiny trickle, but it's here and it's cold. There's kind of this like eerie, hazy sunset right now. Smoky. There must be a wildfire somewhere nearby. My favorite thing, though, about where I am right now, there are people down below me. Looks like a horse packing tour. There's an older couple, maybe in their 50s, and a teenage boy. There's 3 horses tied to a burnt tree trunk and 2 brightly colored tents. One's red and pretty small, and one is a little bigger and it's beige with green trim. I'm sure they can't see me up here, but I like being able to see them. It's making me feel slightly better just knowing there are other people in this godforsaken wilderness other than the slimy hunter guy. I'm eating my dinner on a rock overlooking them. I made chicken ramen, and I have a packet of Oreos for dessert, so, you know, life is good. The couple's unpacking their things, bringing feed to the horses. Oh, the little boy is... Yeah, it looks like he's starting a fire. Just normal camp things. I wonder what their story is. Maybe the younger guy is a guide or something, and they're like wealthy tourists from California, out in Montana for a real Wild West adventure. Wow, the sun is so orange with this smoke. It's like almost red. So saturated and like pulsating. Wow. Aw. The couple just kissed next to the fire. The teenager's like turning his head away, giving them space. Oh, wait. There's a 4th person. He's like standing at the edge of the camp closest to where I am, and he's looking. Oh my god. Does he see me? He's staring right at me. I mean, there's no way he could see me. How could he see me? It's a man. I can't tell how old. He's wearing a dark green jacket and blue jeans, I think. swear I'm hidden. I'm, like, behind so many rocks. I'm a mile or more away, up on top of a ridge, like 400 feet above them at least. How could he see me? You'd have to already know I was here and, like, know where to look. He's still just standing there, facing me. He has to turn around eventually, right? Wait. Huh. So weird. The couple and the teenager are, like, ignoring him. He's standing a few feet away from them, but no one's acknowledging him. It's like, that's impossible. It's like they don't see him. Like they don't know he's there. He's still facing me. Wait. There's only 3 horses. Shh. Listen. It's day 6 in the Bob. It's so hot. It's all just burnt trees. There's no water. Day 7 in the Bob. I hiked 32 miles yesterday. I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. Only 55 more miles to the highway. Day after tomorrow, I'll be there. I'll be out. "29 miles yesterday. Hoping to make the road before dark. I'm out of food. I've seen 6 deer, 3 elk, 1 otter, and so many cows. I want to tell you a story. A story about me and Jules. So Max, he used to get nightmares really bad. And Jules and I usually ended up hanging out with him at night if he was scared, since his room was so far from our parents and they never heard him. And he was always pretty easy to get to quiet back down. He was a happy kid, you know. But there was one night that was different, that didn't make any sense. It was the night before Max's 4th birthday. Jules and I were 8 and 9. My mom had planned a huge party for him that was supposed to take place outside on the lawn. I remember that she was worried about it because the forecast called for rain. It was early August, and that day had been swelteringly hot and humid. I was sleeping that night with my window cracked open to let the breeze in. There was this huge oak tree outside my bedroom window on the 2nd floor. It was planted too close to the house many, many years ago. I can still hear the sound of its branches tapping rhythmically on my window pane. Lightly if the breeze was soft, but when the wind really howled, it sounded like something furious was clawing at it, fighting its way into my room. It might have been that noise that woke me up a little bit past 3 a.m. My mom, she was sure that's what it was, but it doesn't explain why Jules woke up at the exact same time in his own bedroom, which was on the opposite wall from the tree. And he and I woke up with the same thought. Max needs me. I ran to Max's room and I threw the door open, and Jules's feet were right behind mine. Max was still asleep, a thumb in his mouth, and Jules and I just looked at each other, mouths open, like, "What are you doing here?" Max was fine. That time, Max was fine.